Now there guys, I'm going to be explaining the 1-point perspective to you and to go through the formalities of introducing each one of these points. So this one here would be my stationary point over here, and this will be the vanishing point. Note that it is connected via a vertical line, and where it intersects the actual horizon line would be my vanishing point. That will give you the stationary point usually, and you'd have to find the vanishing point. My stationary point is me. I'm standing there. My line of sight is going to be looking at this building, and I'll be seeing everything from the left-hand side all the way across to the right-hand side. Anything behind it will then eventually form hidden detail. Alright, so if my stationary point is over here and my vanishing point is over here, the only things left to do would need to be to try and figure out what this shape is. Okay, this is, other than being a step, because a step could also look like this from the top and like that from the front, I'd need to give you the information and tell you that this is going to be a house. Okay, this house over here has a gable roof, and we are going to need to connect each one of these points across to my vanishing point and my top view across to my stationary point. So I'm going to go ahead and do exactly that. From my stationary point, I'm going to connect every point that is not connected or touching the actual picture plane. So which would be each one of these points that I'm connecting right now. Okay, please note that this point over here and this point over here is touching this picture plane. So I'm going to just project them straight down. Okay, and you'll note that this length or width has generated this width and length or length that I've seen over here. Okay, also this line over here, these lines that are forming the actual roof, I'm going to zoom in on it a little bit over there. Okay, they are really going to be drawn in construction, because I'm going to be using that box over there as a template for the height of my actual roof. Okay, so remember that this roof top over here, this line over here, is actually this line over here, which means I've got a point from this bottom point over here slanting away from me to the top of the roof, the apex. Okay, the very top. There I have my ground line, sorry, not my ground line, my picture plane, and I'll be going to move away from my picture plane to find the top of the roof. Okay, so let's go and connect each one of these points for my roof. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to find the roof first, because I find if I start with the bottom portion, I get confused with all the lines, and then you as the viewer will also struggle to see what I'm trying to do. Now I've tried to put this point down to my stationary point, and where it connects with the actual picture plane, I'm going to go ahead and plot my points on each one of these lines. Makes it easier for me to go ahead and project straight down from each one of these points. Remember what we said is that if these 2 points are touching the picture plane, they get projected straight down, and that is exactly the same over here. When I get this point over here to touch the picture plane over there, I drop that one straight down. Okay, now I'm going to quickly make this a little bit different in explaining to you. I'm going to go ahead and find the box in which this shape is going to fit. That means I have the 4 corners of this box, which will provide me the parameter in which my actual roof is going to fit. So I'm going to find this point over here, project it down onto my picture plane, and it's going to be projected straight down over there. And I'm going to go ahead and find that point over there, which is also one of the corners of my box, to the picture plane, and I'm going to be projecting it straight down to this. I'm going to stop over there. Okay, so in other words, if I connect this intersection point with this intersection point over here, you can already see a box shape very long rectangular box shape, but it's over there. This is going to be providing me the parameters in which my actual roof is going to fit. Okay, so I found those two back points over there. How about we go ahead and we find these 2 points that are going to be providing me the tip of my roof. I go ahead with my construction line and I go and find the actual point that's cutting the picture plane, and I drop it straight down from there onto that point over there. I'm going to do the same with the other point, which is the opposite of this point over here, connected to that point. That one there goes straight down from that picture plane onto this line over here. Okay, now let's see what happens. Final line, I'm going to go from this point to that point. I'm also going to be connecting the 4 corners of my box to the apex. Remember, the 4th corner is in the back over there, which I cannot see, which then becomes hidden detail, but I'm not going to be putting in the hidden detail just yet. Remember, if I'm standing at my stationary point and I'm looking up at this shape over here, I can see everything from the left all the way to the right, but I can't see anything behind those 2 points, which includes this point over here. That point over there would be further down below, behind this point. Anything behind this point over here and that point over there will then be hidden detail. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom portion of this house. I'm going to be connecting that point to the vanishing point, and I know that this point over here has an upper and a lower point because this is the top view of my house. Okay, so therefore when I follow it, it must also have a top point and further down a lower point. There we have it. Okay, let's clean it up a little bit. And obviously this line over here would also be trimmed and in final line. Alright, so that would be the final shape that I'm going to be confronted with. That is my 1-point perspective of the drawing that I've needed. Please note that I've taken this shape over here, okay, that box that was originally there, and I've used it as a template to find my apex along this line over here. If I follow that up, it should give me the top view apex. There it is there. Okay. The other point that I want to raise is the fact that this line over here hasn't been made permanent from this point to this point here. I can't really see whether it is permanent or not because in my top view it doesn't display it and my front view doesn't display it, but I know that from the ground all the way up to my apex of my roof is a nice flat surface. So in this case over here, I'm not going to make that line from this point to this point a solid line. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please comment if you need any further assistance. Thank you very much.